Hi guys, so continuing my story of my exploration with connecting with the universe. So those who have not watched the previous episodes, please go and watch so that you can get a connection with this video. In the last video, we left it at a point where I was studying for my engineering exam. I was going to study it in Coimbatore at my mama's place, and I recognized that the exam standards were very tough. When in Nagpur, in Maharashtra board, there were no entrance exam, but in Tamil Nadu, there was an entrance exam to get into an engineering college. And I realized that it is going to be very tough for me to compete with the students in Tamil Nadu. However, it was difficult for me to convince my mama that I actually would not be able to crack the entrance exam and I have to explore that option in Maharashtra. However, at that point of time, it was way too early. So he said that give an attempt and try to get it here. Okay? So I started programming every day in the morning and the night that somehow some opportunity should open up by which I can actually go to Nagpur, explore what is the cost of living there, how much does it take for me to pay for the college, and what are the opportunities available. And as I was programming this every day, 10 minutes in the morning and 10 minutes in the night, I would close my eyes and connect with the universe. One day I got a call from my school, Saraswati Vidyalaya from Nagpur, that they are going to close the Sancheti account. So we had opened up a savings account in 7th or 8th standard. I started that account. I started putting money in that account, and they were going to close that entire program. So I had to travel to Nagpur to collect that money personally. So for me, that was a good reason for me to tell my mama to let me go to Nagpur. And he gave me permission. I went to Nagpur and I explored the cost of living there. I found out that approximately it would take me around 1,500 rupees for me to stay and for the food. And for getting into engineering college, if I could get a free seat, I just have to pay 14,100 rupees per year. Okay? So with that, I also during that process, the 12th standard results were declared in Nagpur, and I ended up getting almost 83% in PCM, which was required to get an admission into engineering college. Overall, I think I got around 73% percentage in my college. Now I would like to give a background story of how I actually, something that I thought will work for me. Okay, like I had a very clear thing when I was in my 10th standard that going forward in 11th and 12th, I'll get a admission in school, study well in the school, and get good marks and get into engineering. However, I just got some 71% in my 10th, and I couldn't get to the school that I desired. So I ended up taking an admission in a college that was not having great reputation for studies. So I can still bunk the college and go to tuitions and really study well and give my exam. However, it all turned out to be very different. This particular college had mostly Marathi and Hindi speaking students, and when I joined the college, I guess I was amongst those couple of other students who could actually speak fluent English. Since we were just few of us who could speak, there were a lot of attention that I was getting because I was able to speak in English. And this attention that I never got before, till 10th, I never had my own identity, like a sense that I am somebody. I always used to look up to the toppers of the school, and all my friends also would look up to them, that they would score well in exam, they will score well in sports, they will be all-rounders. And I practically didn't have an identity that I can be somebody. But here, strangely and fortunately, I would say, I started getting the recognition. I got to receive an attention, and people started coming to ask me to teach them English. And I ended up being a sincere student of the college. I joined that college so that I can bunk the college. However, I ended up attending it sincerely, and it worked out in my favor because I was noticed by other lecturers and professors, and I ended up scoring the highest mark in my 12th standard, 83%. And this time, when I actually went to Nagpur, there was a felicitation program, and there everyone got to know that I lost my father in December, and this is in somewhere in April or May, I guess. So next year, one of my sir, he was a physics sir, Tekade sir. I used to study with him in physics subject. So he took up an initiative to somehow ensure that I get money for getting into college for my first year of engineering, and I was not aware of this. So after this, I went to Coimbatore, and by the time the results were out, and I got to know that I just scored some 45 percentile, and there was no way of me getting into engineering college. And then I told my mama that I had done the research. Please let me go to Nagpur. I'll go and earn my money, because I also discovered that if I go and take tuition, I can easily get 1,500 to 2,000 rupees. And my mama fortunately agreed, and he said, no worries, I'll pay you 1,000 bucks every month, and remaining amount you can manage on your own. And I was far too grateful and happy for him to give me permission to go to Nagpur and also pay a monthly amount to manage. So that is how I actually came to Nagpur, and I had to get into this engineering college. Now there was only one engineering college that was inside the city. Most of the engineering colleges were outside in the periphery of the city, and this particular college was known for its mechanical branch, and I had to get into that college because if I could stay inside the city, I had my father's friends and in the city, and I could teach their children tuition classes. But if I actually end up staying outside of the city limits, then it will be difficult for me to teach or to take tuition. So my mama said it will be very difficult for me to manage 14,100. So you have to manage that. And I said, okay, done, I'll do that. I was just grateful for him to allow me to come to Nagpur in the first place. And just 2 days before, I got a call from my 12th standard physics sir, Tekade sir, and when I go to meet him, he hands me a DD of 14,100. Now this DD 14,100 was the image that every single day in the morning and in the night I used to see myself giving it towards the admission of my engineering college. And fortunately for me, I got into this particular college that I looked for, and I also got the money for it, and I got the admission. So yeah, there were a lot of lessons to be learned from the story. One of the biggest lessons that I learned was, when things are not really going according to the plan, you just need to learn to trust. You may not be able to connect the dots then, it may look as if things are not going in your favor. However, if you can trust the process, if you can trust the universe and continue on the journey and not give up, later on in the life you would get to know that, wow, everything worked out in your favor. If things would have gone in your way, then perhaps things wouldn't have worked out the way in your favor. So that was a great lesson, and I guess it was also a great lesson for me to see how if I can be persistent in asking for what I desire, even when the outside circumstances are not matching with what I want to create, universe subsequently will show up ways and means by which you can reach what you have actually asked for in the first place. So yeah, that has been a great start for me, and there were so many other magical stories that occurred with me during my first year of engineering, and I'm looking forward to share with you on the next videos. Thank you so much.